A very good morning to all you beautiful people. I hope you all are doing good. This is Prashant Maune and I warmly welcome all of you to Study IQ. Let there be pain, let there be suffering. Go through the dark night and you will reach to a beautiful sunrise. It is only in the womb of the dark night that the sun evolves. It is only through the dark night that the morning comes, said by Osho, and it is very right as well. We have to go through all the sufferings, right? We have to feel that pain if we want to gain something. With this, dear friends, let me introduce all of you to our pen drive and tablet courses for different exams. StudyIQ provides different pen drive and tablet courses. Recently, we have added SSC CGL plus CHSL 2018 test series. Many optional papers for UPSC exams are covered. With this, we have also launched government exams, national level as well as state levels pen drive and tablet courses, and many more things we have added. So make sure you check out studyiq.com. You'll find the list of all the pen drive and tablet courses that we offer, and I'm sure you might have come across this thing that many students have benefited immensely out of our pen drive and tablet courses because they are designed by the best faculties of our country. So make sure you check it out and order as per your requirement. With this, dear friends, let's start with something positive, right? Let's start with something that will put a cheer on our face. The thing is that I'm sure you are aware about this mission of INSV Tarini, right? The six brave daughters of our country, as you can see on your screen, right? They are on a mission to circumnavigate the whole world, and finally they have crossed this Cape Horn through Drake Passage. This is considered as one of the most difficult stretches to navigate, and I have a picture, or you can say the route of this Navika Sagar Parikrama. They started from Goa here, right, and they reached here. Last time when we got an update was when they reached here in Australia and then New Zealand. But now they have crossed this portion here, and I have one more picture for you guys. This is Drake Passage. It is very difficult one to cross, and particularly when you are using this sort of sailing boat. So it's a bit of challenging thing, and this whole mission in itself, right, it is a sheer act of bravery. They are there in the water to prove that a woman can do, or a girl can do, all the things that a man or a boy can do, and that is very right as well. They are going to prove this thing, and this is not the first time that we are going to see this thing, right? It is our society that has created this sort of divide, but now the good news is that things are changing. A couple of days ago, not a couple of days ago, but a couple of weeks ago, basically, I was in a book talk, and in that book talk, there was a outstanding teacher, right? She talked about woman empowerment, and next time whenever we will find a sort of topic in editorial or maybe article, then at that point of time I will discuss some of the points, some of the out of the box points that I came across through in that book talk. Anyways, so this is here, right, your Drake Passage, and as you can see here, you have South Pacific and Southern Ocean, and basically this portion here you have this Cape Horn. Remember this thing, Cape Horn. It is the southern bit of South American continent, and here you have this Antarctica continent. So you know exactly which place we are talking about. We are talking about this portion here. Now let's start with editorial. The first one that we have is, of course, on India and Israel bilateral relationship, right? It's we are heading in a right direction. You can say the relationship between both the countries, particularly the you can say the personal equation or friendship between Benjamin Netanyahu. Many times he is referred as Benjamin, and many times Benjamin, so it all depends, right, in which part. So both of these words are right. So Mr. Netanyahu and Mr. Modi, they are sharing a very, you can say, a warm relationship with each other. and we have talked about this thing. We have talked about this thing in our PIB analysis as well. I'm sure many of you are following PIB analysis on regular basis, so you know that we have talked about Israel a little bit, all different items that were in news. I have covered all important aspect of this visit of Israeli Prime Minister. So if you want to know more about it, if you are just following The Hindu, then I would recommend this. Just go through last couple of PIBs and you will find some additional information regarding Israel and India. Now here is the map of Israel. Remember, I told you that it is very important for you to keep this whole region. This region here is of West Asia, right? Let me zoom it up a little bit for you guys. So right, so here we are talking about West Asia, and here is the country Israel, right? You have Palestine here. This bit here is this one, this Gaza Strip, and this West Bank belongs to Palestine. Here you have this Golan Heights. Golan Heights were conquered by Israel during this 6-day war at that point of time. Earlier on, this Golan Heights were falling under the territory of Syria, and then you have Sinai Desert over this this part here. Anyway, so that's basically everything regarding the geography. Now you can clearly see Mediterranean Sea here, and Tel Aviv is at present considered official capital by India. Even when I say official capital, even though it is not declared clearly anywhere, but our embassy is there in Tel Aviv. The last time when Jerusalem was in news was because of US President Donald Trump decided that he is going to shift this embassy of USA from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, and he declared that Jerusalem is the official capital of Israel. We have talked about this thing. You have been provided with maps and pictures about this. You know that it is this Jerusalem is a holy city that is important for Jew, for Muslims, and for Christians. So just giving it to Israel or declaring that this belongs only to Israel is going to create some problems with Palestine and Arab world, because Al-Aqsa Mosque is here in Jerusalem, and it is one of the most important, one of the most you can say holiest place for Muslims. So this thing, and we have in fact rejected India, right? India has rejected this. There was a resolution, and India rejected this stand of USA at United Nations. So far this is our stand, and it is quite interesting that we have kept a very good relationship with Israel, even though we have rejected this stand or this stand of USA on Jerusalem. At the same time, we have a good relationship with USA, and we are also having good relationship with Iran and Palestine as well. So the way we are going, or the way our diplomacy is working at present, you can say that we have successfully kept a very good balance when it comes to this portion here, Israel and things associated with Israel and Palestine. Now, diplomatic ties were established. Let's go through a bit of timeline of this relationship. 1992, right, establishment of diplomatic ties took place when Israel was formed in late 40s, right, somewhere around 1950s, 1950 or 1949. But in the end of this, it was basically when we got independence. At the same time, Israel also got independence. So India recognized Israel at that point of time, and it took many years for us to develop diplomatic ties, and so finally in 1992 we developed diplomatic ties with each other. And in 2003 the Prime Minister of Israel, Ariel Sharon, visited India. In 2015 Pranab Mukherjee visited Israel, and 2017 Prime Minister Narendra Modi became the first Prime Minister of India to visit Israel. And here at present, as we are talking, 2018 Netanyahu visits India for 6 days. Now this bilateral relationship, now the future, the way we are going or dealing with each other, it seems that this is going to become a strategic partnership, right? The partnership is going to, or the relationships between both the countries are going to get stronger and stronger. We have talked about this close personal equation between both these prime ministers, and we saw this kite flying thing. Netanyahu visited Taj Mahal, and also this Chabad house or Nariman house, the 2611 house, right, basically. Now when we talk about business synergy, see, the thing is, India has scale and size. We have population here, right? So that means that we have a big market. Now in population as well, if you break it down, then you know it very well that 65%, roughly 65% of our population is below the age of 35. Now as a youngster, right, what are your dreams, right? You would be, there is nothing, no harm in dreaming about or seeking this sort of things. You would be seeking a good car, good mobile phone, good house, right, good clothes. So basically a young country is a country that is sort of, you can say it is a country that is coming with lots of demands, because you have young people, right? So you have your size as well as your scale. This is, you can say, a unique, or you can say it makes India a sort of very attractive market. And when we talk about Israel, then Israel has this sharpness and edge, right? It has all this latest products and latest technology, and Israel is a country that is investing heavily in research and development, and it is basically sending its youngsters to all different corners of the world to get the best quality education, skills and everything. And the way they are, right, the way their culture is, they will come back and they will basically add fruits in the country of Israel. So there are very less chance of Israel in Israel for brain drain. It's all mostly about brain gain. And Jew community in USA and other countries, right, this community is known for its business skill, entrepreneur skill. So in terms of remittance as well, Israel is in this. So these are all benefits of Israel, and in terms of business, it is very sharp and it has its own edge. So this is a best synergy, or you can say a very good business proposition. Now regarding peace talk, as you know, the relation or the way things are going on over here, India has taken a stand. India has clearly stated that we are for two nations, right? Two nations basically means that both these countries, right, Israel and Palestine, can coexist peacefully with each other. We are not for just Israel, we are not for just Palestine. We want that both these countries can exist, and peacefully they can have good relationship with each other and things like that. And Jerusalem, yes, at present this is a sort of GK line for you, general knowledge thing, that Jordan's King Abdullah II is the custodian of the holy sites in Jerusalem. With this, dear friends, this article is about, there is one more editorial, that one is about cricket, so I have not taken that one into consideration today, because that is not of any use for us. This one is about, of course, sorry for the cricket lovers anyways, before I move ahead. This one is about healthcare in our country. Now, see, let me share one thing with you guys, like how to prepare sort of things, or tips, or whatever you can name it. Now, when we talk about healthcare, right, naturally what happens is that in our time at present, right, we are always in a sort of a rush. That's what I think, generally speaking, right? So when we read or when we find an article, right, the first thing that we do is let's go through it quickly, right? Let's read it quickly, and let's see whether, let's read everything in you know, that will help us in exam. This is something that has its own demerits, because if you are just going through these articles, if you are reading it 5 times as well, but if you are not analyzing it, if you are not thinking and relating the things that you already know, then you will not have that shine or glitteriness that is required. So when I say this is about healthcare, then you should pause here for a couple of seconds or a minute or something and think about what exactly is the situation of health sector in our country. What are the things that you have heard about in recent past, in current affairs, and deaths of small babies and the other medical facilities. Some good things as well. Medical science is also moving ahead, so we have a sort of mix, right? We have but the thing is, if we see then the overall scenario, then we find it very bleak, right? People have to spend huge amount of money to get medical facilities, and primary health sector, primary level, in grassroots level or village level, facilities are not that good. So there are many other problems as well through which we are going through. And recently we saw winter session of Parliament, and in winter session of Parliament this thing was in news that a bill is tabled, and this bill is known as National Medical Commission Bill 2017. Now the main thing is why we need this National Medical Commission Bill. The thing is, this Medical Council of India, right, it has not been able to deliver, or even if it did produce some sort of positive results, but at present, or for a very long period of time, this MCI has not been able to improve the things, or in fact it has made it a bit worse, because we know how corruption and other things are taking place. MCI, you know, the main man of this MCI, if I'm not wrong, Mr. Shah, he was accused in a case, and then as well he is made chairman of this body MCI. So there are many other things as well associated with MCI. Corruption is there. You throw the money and they will issue license and things like that. This sort of things are, we find this sort of things in media. Right, so now the government wants to replace this MCI with this National Medical Commission, NMC. It wants to replace it, and of course we have to analyze it, this bill, that the things that are being said in the bill, whether they are really going to produce any result or not. First of all, the thing is that this National Medical Council, or NMC, should be a body that is clear in its operation. It should directly, you can say, address all the problems that are associated with MCI, or associated with health sector, or health or medical body in our country. Now this bill is talking about that it is going to be a body that will formulate policy. It is a body that is going to regulate this medical colleges and education and hospitals and everything in our country. The thing is that if we give all the powers, right, if we give powers of regulating as a regulating body, as well as a policy formulating body, if we make this new NMC, then what is going to happen is that it will be, first of all, overburdened with all this work. The second thing is that it will not be able to specialize either in regulatory body or in making or in formulating policy. Now, one more thing, that when we talk about formulating policy, it is the job of the Parliament, right? It is not the job of this NMC to come out with policies. The other thing is that regulatory body should regulate only. This is, we find this sort of things, or there are many good examples in our country as well, and abroad as well, right? Regulatory bodies, those regulatory bodies who are just focused on regulating things, then there are good examples that they have performed, or they have produced some good results. Now, talking about this policy, right? So this, when we talk about this national or medical policy, then we should include, or we should ask stakeholders, people from society, patients, right, all those people who are stakeholder when it comes to medical sector, best minds should be taken on board. Their views should be taken into consideration when we are designing this policy, because when you have limited people, right, the members of this NMC as per the bill, if they are the ones who are going to decide everything, then we know it very well that it is not necessary that they would be having experience with all different you can say stages of this medical sector. The other thing is that the fundamental flaw of this NMC is that it lacks clarity on its function. Now, one more thing, or moving ahead, that complex tasks which requires inputs from multiple agencies will be done poorly if at all everything is done by commission. The other thing is that there is, for a very long period of time in our country, what we have failed actually, you know, a couple of days ago this thing was in news. We have discussed this thing, that government has decided that it is going to create a sort of bridge. When I say bridge, I don't mean to say a physical bridge, but a bridge between what we call Ayurveda and what we call allopathy, or modern scientific medicines. When we say allopathy is all about science and Ayurveda is traditional thing, then we are missing the main point here. The main point is that at the end of the day, whether it is homeopathy, Ayurveda, or whatever pathy that is, right, the thing is, the things that are scientific, right, the things that are scientific, that have some proven results, that has minimum side effects, right, those sort of things are required, and we have failed, and successive governments they have failed in identifying this thing. We need to promote scientific medicine and integrate the best of indigenous systems into one unified system. We don't need a sort of unhealthy competition between Ayurveda and other branches against or versus this allopathy. This is I'm sure you might have heard about this thing, that this doctors from Ayurvedic field, they would be opposing this allopathy people, and allopathy people, not allopathy, but this Ayurvedic people would be opposing this allopathy, and allopathy would be opposing this Ayurvedic or traditional medicine. So this is not good or healthy for our country or for the people. Rather than they competing with each other, they should work with each other, and government should design policies that all the things that are proven, that are scientific, should be allowed, and all those things that are vague, that are not scientific, those things should be banned as well, or R&D should be conducted on all those sort of things. Now, as we have discussed this thing, so basically the bottom line is that one scientific system of medicine combining all that is proven. Now, regarding this MCI, the way things are going on, rent seeking is prevalent. Then members of this MCI are nominated or selected based on the proximity with the government rather than their qualification, and the elections for MCI are quite expensive as well. So these are some of the outdated things associated with MCI. With the new body, what we need is that we need a sort of fine balance of nominated members as well as elected members, right? Election should be as less political, right? It is going to be a bit challenging, but doctors who are good in formulating policy, who knows how to, who knows basically in and out of this profession, they should be nominated. If they are not able to, you can say, if they are not good in elections, then they should be nominated by the government, and then we should have some people who are good in this election and other things as well. So we will have a fine balance, and we should have people from different walks of life. We should have multiple, you can say, not only doctors, but we need other stakeholders as well. So this will promote a sort of diversity in views, right? So these are the things, and we don't need this all nominated members. When we have all members who are nominated, then what you get is this yes boss kind of people. Recently, President of India said this thing, and we have discussed this thing in PIB, and the reason why I have explained this thing in detail is because if you open your past papers, then you will find one question at least on this thing, right? Medical and public health. So it is very important for you to understand in and out about this particular topic. So President recently said that in total, right, roughly speaking, we would be having 1 lakh, right? We have 1 lakh total seats when we talk about medical education in our country. We are a country of 1.3 billion people, but every year our capacity to produce doctors, both postgraduate as well as graduates, undergraduate, is 1 lakh. This is definitely not in proportion with our population. So we need more medical colleges. But when we have too many private education centers, then naturally the fees are going to be high. And of course, when these doctors, when they will pass out from this universities or colleges, of course they have to recover this money, isn't it? They might have taken loan or borrowed money from someone. So their first motive would be to recover this money, which is very basic, very easy to understand. So this is going to they would be catering their expertise with high charges, which is not affordable to many people of our country. So if the objective is universal medical care, then government should come out with many medical colleges, and the quality should be maintained as well. With this, dear friends, this one is a very easy to understand one, because it is about geopolitics. When I say geopolitics, it's not that all topics associated with geopolitics are easy to understand, but this is, I think, maybe 6th or 7th time we are talking about this particular thing of USA and its strategy on South Asia. Now recently, via a tweet, with the help of a tweet, this Donald Trump accused Pakistan of lies and deceit in return for $33 billion in aid over the last 15 years. Now, many of you would be thinking that why USA has been providing this much amount of aid to this country called Pakistan. See, if you go back in history, and if you keep geography in mind as well, if you connect these two things, then things are very easy to understand. See, this portion here was USSR, this Kazakhstan and all these countries ending with stan, this Turkmenistan and Tajikistan, everyone was under USSR. And during Cold War time, this USSR invaded this portion of Afghanistan. They entered here. They basically tried to conquer this Afghanistan. Now, USA and Russia were against at present as well. Their relationship is not good, but in Cold War era they were in a cutthroat competition with each other. So of course it is not possible for USA to help Afghanistan by entering from any of these countries here, right? This is not possible. Now with Iran as well, it was not having that good relationship because of this Iranian revolution of 1979 and things like that. Here we are talking about 80s, right? So Pakistan is the only country at that point of time. This was the best country that USA was having, a best option, you can say, to supply all necessary items to Afghanistan or in Afghanistan. So this is why it started doing or promoting, or you can say started aiding and supplying weapons and technology to Pakistan. But Pakistan has misused it for against India. We know how they have used this money and weapons against India, and at present the whole world is knowing about this you can say this dual standard of Pakistan. So USA is worried about this thing, and the way relationship between USA and India is going up. For India, the biggest concern has always been this terrorism and its breeding ground in Pakistan. So USA has said it very clearly. Trump has said that if you basically don't behave properly, then we are going to destroy you maybe, or this is not going to be beneficial for Pakistan, things like that. But this is not the first time this sort of statements are coming from USA, and in fact we must appreciate one thing, that Pakistan is very good when it comes to foreign relationship. For a very long period of time it has made the best use of the money that was coming from USA. When I say best use, I mean to say, of course, for their own purpose, for their own interest. Their foreign officers, I think, right, they would be one of the best, because they are good in taking taking money from, or they are good in persuading these companies, countries in giving them money. They have been getting money from USA, and for a very long period of time they are getting money from China as well. And if USA is being harsh on Pakistan, then it is not worried that much, because it has China, right? China calls Pakistan as an all-weather friend, and elections are going to take place in Afghanistan this year. So Pakistan will not take any action against this terrorist groups. What it will do is it will wait and watch for the result of this Afghanistan. At the same point of time, you have this axis, or you can say a group or a team here, where you have China, Pakistan and Russia, and Iran as well nowadays is being a bit supportive to this group. So you can say very well that it has its own cushion. Pakistan has a cushion or shock absorbers around it, and the only country that can have a sort of influence on Saudi Arabia, when we talk about South Asia and USA, then it is the Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia can pressurize this Pakistan, and India is also having a very good relationship with Saudi Arabia. But Saudis as well, their relationship with China is very good. The relationship with Russia is also not bad. For a very long period of time it has been a very good US ally, but Pakistan, and they have military relationship with each other and things like that. So it would be you can say very difficult to say how these countries are going to behave. Of course, we know one thing for sure, that Pakistan is not going to change its tactics in near future. Now, what we have got for India here, the thing is that if USA will step out, or if the influence of USA will reduce here, then we will lose that indirect influence that we used to have on Pakistan. Every time if we had any problem, then we used to ask USA to make sure that Pakistan is behaving properly. But this thing may end, and this China and Pakistan's relationship, the growing relationship with this you can say all-weather friendship that they have developed, right, may push India further to the wall, because USA is stepping out. And if God forbid we have this sort of situation like Kargil, then we won't have any aid from USA, but China will be supported by, or Pakistan will be supported by China. So that's everything that we have got here. With this, dear friends, let's see what we have got in the news item. Now, Office of Profit, 20 ARP MLAs to be disqualified. Election Commission has recommended this thing to President, and as per the rules, the President has to. President is, or the EC, Election Commission's Council is binding on the President. Let's see how things turn up. This is the whole history crisis in Delhi Assembly. Make sure you go through it. It's a one-time read. India is admitted to Australia Group. Australia Group is basically for biological and chemical weapons. Very important item here, very important group as well. We are the 43rd participant, and one of the main reason why we got entry is because of our good history when it comes to non-proliferation records. Dear friends, a special video lecture on Wesenar arrangement is available on our YouTube channel, and in this one I have provided a sort of a little bit of background on what or why it is important for us to enter these different groups. Now we have to enter this nuclear suppliers group as well. So make sure that today, of course, we have Saturday, Sundays, right? So you have enough time to go through this Wesenar arrangement special video lecture. If you want, then do let me know in the comment section. Then I can provide you the link. Just in case if you cannot, if you can't find it, then do let me know. Or you can message me or contact me on my Facebook page as well. With this, dear friends, difference over Doklam. See, China is saying that our MEA, our ministry, is saying that things are all right, but on the other hand, you have China issuing some sort of, you can say, very threatening or disruptive statements. Here you have Supreme Court has clearly stated that if a film is approved by CBFC, if it is certified by CBFC, then it is not going to stop or it is not going to interfere with this decision of this CBFC. Center compiling livability index. This is a new thing going to start in our India for a very first time, right? We are going to have this index, and it is going to take into consideration 116 cities. With this, USA is going to beat Saudi Arabia in oil production. The #1 oil producing country in the world is Russia at present. And with this shale gas or shale companies, they are going to ramp up drilling. So with this move, the USA is going to be, when it comes to production, it is going to be equal or bit, it is going to produce a bit more than Saudi Arabia. And this is going to create, or this may lead to a fall in price because of too much supply and limited demand. With this, ease of data access is driving compliance, has been said by Arun Jaitley during this National CSR, Corporate Social Responsibility Data Protocol and Corporate Data Protocol inauguration. Basically, he said that now as things are available online, everything is all the data associated with companies are available easily. So this forces these companies to follow all the rules and regulation. This one is about IAC, that is Indian aircraft carrier Vikrant, right? Named after this aircraft INS Vikrant that we decommissioned in 1997. This one is an indigenous aircraft carrier, and very soon it is going to be in water. Construction of this, basically building of this Vikrant is going on with full-fledged. With this, dear friends, hold on a second. Hi, yes, here we go. These are the questions for you today. Which one among the following is the largest temperate desert of the world? Patagonian, Taklamakan, Iranian, or Turkmen? And tsunami of 2004 was the result of subduction of Indian plate below Eurasian plate, subduction of Indian plate below Burmese plate, subduction of Eurasian plate below Indian plate, or subduction of Burmese plate below Indian plate. And the third one is you have to identify the person that you can see on your screen. Give me the name as well as the country of the person. Let's see who can get it right. With this, dear friends, I end this discussion here. Make sure you check out StudyIQ.com for pen drive and tablet courses. One thing that I would like to again request all of you guys is that you have to, right? You have to respond to the questions, right? You have to provide your answers. This is not enough if you know the answers and if you are not writing it down. This is not fair, right? If you guys don't take part in it, right, it becomes very non-interactive. It becomes very boring. If you place yourself right in my place, right, if you just come on this side of the table, then you will find that it is very important. See, we are on a digital platform, right? I don't get to see you guys. Of course, digital platform, it has its own benefit. You know it very well that you get all these graphics, and there are many tools that we can use, and it's fun as well, right? In this way, the lectures online, they are a bit more fun than the traditional one. But one drawback that you have is that you don't get to see each other. So how we can make sure that we keep on motivating each other or passing positive energy to each other if you don't interact, right? I'm sure many of you, I do understand that we all are different and we all are unique. I don't say that people who are a bit shy, being bit shy or being shy in nature is not good, right? it all depends, right? We all are unique. I appreciate the way you are, but at least if you feel a bit shy, then you can just give a like to the video, and you can post your answer on my Facebook page as well, or you can message me the answers, right? So this way, at least I know that you are going through the complete video, you are going through the questions. And the thing is, if you see the questions here, right? Tsunami of 2004, now subduction of Indian plate. Now it's up to you, how much time do you spend after this thing. You may go to Google and you may just type this statement here, and you will find a sort of answer for this thing, why tsunami of 2004 took place, and etc. This would be the easiest thing that you can do. But the other thing that you can do is, the thing that is required, or the thing that is necessary for you to do is, you should open your map book, right? Or you should go online and check the different plates that are there in the world, and then you will find Eurasian plate, Burmese plate, and then see where they are interacting. You will also find arrows, whether the plate is moving up or whether the plate is moving in this direction or that direction. What are the different types of plate movements and things like that. When you are just going through, if you just Google this thing, largest temperate desert, you will find answer online. But if you go through this Patagonian and Taklamakan, this Iranian, this Taklamakan was in news. Remember this diversification of Brahmaputra river or Siang rivers or Zangpo, Yarlung Zangpo river water to a desert portion. At that point of time, I provided you this map as well, this picture of this Taklamakan, and see here today it is in front of you. So you should spend some quality time after this, right? It's not about who is getting it right first. Even if you are making mistakes, even if your answer is wrong, I don't mind. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to help you with whatever capacity I have, limited knowledge I have. I'm here to share all the things I can share with you. So I would really appreciate, right, to think about it. Many of you have said in the past that you were going to respond, but nowadays I see that I get only few responses back. So I'm sure you will take it very positively, and I'm sure that you will take an initiative and will make sure that this discussion or this interaction that we do on regular basis is productive, is helpful for every one of us. With this, dear friends, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Many important videos are going to be launched or lived or aired today, and you will be able to download this file from my Facebook page as well as our Telegram channel. Today is Saturday, so make sure you enjoy your weekend, right? Maybe you might be having a plan for late evening or maybe tomorrow. You can share your plans as well. If you are doing something interesting, then do let me know on my Facebook page. Enjoy your studies. Take care for now. Jai Hind.